Dead guys are coming back to life, but these zombies can only eat a specific group. There's this totally epic thriller and horror drama from 2019 called Blood Quantum. Brace yourselves, spoilers are coming. So, at the start of the movie, there's this elderly guy just minding his business, fishing by a river. He reels in some fish and starts prepping them, cutting and cleaning. Now, here's where things get weird. These fish had been out of the water for a while, their guts were out, and they'd been through quite the ordeal. But guess what? They start jumping around. It's like a scene out of a zombie movie. You know how zombies stay kicking until you knock out their brains? Well, these fish were kind of the same deal. The old man is baffled, so he tosses them into a cooler. Then, we shift over to a dude named Taylor, who happens to be a cop. He gets a call from a relative, saying that Joss's pet dog is acting all strange, possibly poisoned. So, Taylor rushes over there, makes a tough call, and puts the suffering dog out of its misery. He tosses the pup in the trunk of his car. Meanwhile, that old man calls up Taylor, and here's the twist. Taylor's his son. Yep, father and son. The old man shows Taylor those freaky fish, and they're both scratching their heads, not knowing what the heck is going on. They decide to burn those fish, and while they're at it, Taylor pops the trunk to cremate Joss's dog. Surprise, surprise. That dog's still alive, and it's infected too. Taylor has to make another hard choice, shooting the dog and giving it a proper send-off by fire. Later on, Taylor gets a troubling update from his wife, Joss. It turns out his sons, Joseph and Alan, had a bizarre run-in with the police. They apparently did something pretty unusual. They defecated on a moving car in the middle of the night. Now, here's the family background. Alan was Taylor's son from his first marriage, and after his first wife passed away, Taylor tied the knot with Joss, and they had Joseph together. Alan, well, he wasn't exactly thrilled about his new family situation. So Alan and Joseph find themselves behind bars, sharing a cell and puffing away on some cigarettes. They're not alone, though. There's another guy in the cell with them, and suddenly this guy starts puking blood and lunges at them like a crazed zombie. Taylor shows up just in time, and together they take down this infected guy. But in the midst of the chaos, this infected dude bites Joseph on the hand. Oddly enough, Joseph seems a-okay, not turning into a zombie like you'd expect. Later that night, Taylor gets an emergency call, and when he arrives at the scene, he finds a pregnant woman who's, well, devouring her own newborn baby. It's gruesome. Taylor tries to stop her and ends up getting bitten on the hand in the process. However, he manages to eliminate the infected woman, but the drama doesn't stop there. Joss calls in a panic, telling Taylor that, as she was heading to the ambulance, a woman and another doctor tried to bite her. Taylor springs into action, gathers some buddies, and heads to the ambulance to eliminate the infected individuals. Now, here's the real kicker. Both Joseph and Taylor got bitten by these zombies, but somehow they're totally fine. They're immune to this virus, it seems. So, they kind of brush off these zombie bites, no big deal. The zombie outbreak, though, it spreads like wildfire throughout the entire country. Fast forward 6 months, and Taylor and his family have set up a safe zone for survivors in the city. Think of it like a fortress. Taylor's the leader, and his friends and family act as the defenders. One day, some more survivors show up, and they're not looking too good. They're infected. Taylor and the crew check them out, and they notice a girl with a nasty wound. They put her down, but the rest seem okay, at least for now. Unfortunately, one of them turns into a zombie, and Taylor has to take him out. It's a tough world out there. Joss, who worked as a nurse, checks on that girl, but she's still unsure if the girl is infected or not. Now, remember this girl. She'll pop up again later. Moving on, there's Joseph, whose girlfriend is pregnant. Then there's Taylor and his crew. They've created a safe zone, a kind of no-go area for zombies, with plenty of guards. They've even set up a massive machine on the main bridge, a giant cutter that mows down thousands of zombies trying to cross every day. But here's the catch. These folks need supplies, like gas and bullets. Their guns are handy, but the bullets are running low, so they decide to venture out to stock up. One night, Alan's fed up with this imprisoned life. He despises his family. Being the first son of Taylor's wife, he's not one to take orders. He goes out for a drink, and his grandfather tags along. Taylor sends Joseph to keep an eye on Alan. As Alan gets more and more wasted, he drags the infected girl into a room inside the safe zone. Trouble is, that girl is on the brink of becoming a zombie, and she bites off a piece of Alan, which causes him to scream like crazy. Others rush in and rescue him. Meanwhile, Taylor, his dad, and their crew head out to grab supplies. They take down a bunch of zombies at a gas station, with the old man expertly wielding a sword. Back in the safe zone, Alan's furious and wants everyone gone. He stabs Joseph and leaves him with the infected girl. She starts turning everyone into zombies, one by one, throughout the whole zone. Remember, Only Taylor's family is immune to the virus. Their immune systems can fight it off, but everyone else succumbs, turning into zombies. In the zone, only Joseph, Joss, Joseph's girlfriend, and a couple of others stay uninfected, hiding. Joss calls Taylor for help, and the three of them come to the zone, taking down many zombies and rescuing their family. Sadly, a big group ends up killing Taylor, tearing him apart and devouring him. The remaining survivors have to make a run for it. Meanwhile, Alan goes to a church with his grandfather and friends, where there are some survivors. Alan tries to set them on fire, all because a zombie had bitten off his private parts and flung them. He's mad and wants to take out as many people as possible while he's still alive. The survivors show up at the church, killing Alan's Nana and his friend, and they take Alan with them. But the next morning, Alan abandons Joss and Joseph's girlfriend, unleashing the zombie he'd been keeping locked up on them. Joseph's pregnant girlfriend gets infected in the chaos. Things get intense, and Joseph and his grandfather wound Alan, tossing him into the zombie crowd, where he meets his end. The survivors decide to leave their current location and board a boat to find safety. However, Joseph's grandfather, an old man, decides to stay behind and not leave his land. Sadly, this decision leads to his demise. On the boat, there are Joss, Joseph, and his girlfriend. The girlfriend goes into labor and gives birth to a baby girl. Unfortunately, due to the earlier infection caused by the zombie Alan left with them, she urges Joseph to put her out of her misery. Joseph reluctantly complies and shoots his girlfriend. In the end, only 2 people survive the outbreak, Joss and Joseph, along with Joseph's newborn daughter. They set out in search of a safer place and have to make do with life on the boat until they find it. And that's how the movie wraps up. Now let's talk about where this virus might have come from. In my opinion, it likely originated from the fish. Much like how diseases can spread from bats to humans in real life, humans may have eaten infected fish, leading to the zombie outbreak. Remember Joss's female dog? It also ate fish and got infected, which is why Taylor had to put it down. Now, why wasn't Taylor's entire family infected? Well, the movie doesn't provide a clear answer. And as for why no one attempted to create an antidote or vaccine, it's likely because no doctors survived the outbreak. Joss was a nurse, but her knowledge might not have been deep enough to develop such medical solutions. So, that's the rundown of the Blood Quantum movie. If you enjoyed this recap, please give the video a like and consider subscribing to the channel.